Psalm 16 says, you have a goodly heritage. And so my heritage begins with my father. My father was way back in the day when they rode horses. Everywhere they went, that was their ride, was horses. My father told us a story of, this was before he knew God, before he lived for God or anything. He took sick, and he said, I don't remember if he told us what his sickness was or if he even went to a doctor, but he did say that his skin on his face and his skins on his hand, he said it was almost like a leprosy, like a cancer. He said, my skin was peeling, it was painful. He says, and he had suffered that for quite some time. Along the way, on the prairie, on his horse, one day, he just had enough of his ailment. He says, I found a tree in the middle of the prairie, he says, and I rode my horse out there, he says, and I got on my knees. He said, and I was so desperate, he said, that with all that was in me, he says, I knelt, he says, and I prayed. And I said, Lord, if you would just heal me from this, he said, I will serve you the rest of my days. He says, while he was praying, he said, the Holy Ghost fell on him, and he spoke in tongues. It surprised him because he didn't know what it was all about. It was the first time it had ever happened to him. But he said, I got up from there, he said, and went on my way. He said, and the next day, he said, you could just see my skin fallen, but it was like healing. It wasn't sore anymore. He says, it wasn't raw anymore. He says, I began to heal. He says, and from that day forward, he served God, he became a minister, and raised his children